Hey guys, Mickey Pasquarelli here. I'm gonna pop on and make a quick video about some of the things I've been coaching with or coaching through here in the last, probably since the new year. And they were essential before, they're really essential now. Now that we're shifting and we're in 2025 and AI is here and big data has been here. And so here's a change that we made and that some people made and didn't react to. So here we go. So anybody on the call, or on the call, in the video, either eliminate or drastically cut down how many cold calls they make. We did, for sure, right? In fact, officially, we don't do cold calls at all as a strategy to generate leads. It doesn't mean they don't work. It doesn't mean they're illegal. You got to be really careful to do them in a TCPA compliant way, which is a part of why we don't do them. For me, for example, I have my cell phone set to not ring if I don't know the caller. It's a cell phone function, iPhone function. I didn't know it existed till a handful of years ago. A good friend told me, and it's changed my life, right? I get lots of spam calls. Despite efforts to get off the spam list, I never seem to get off them, and I get a lot of calls that I don't want. And so, no surprise that cold calling in general has gotten much less effective. Everything works. Cold calling works a lot less these days than it did, and it's riskier with TCPA for sure. So we don't teach it anymore. We just don't. And others have followed suit, and I didn't make this up, but many others are not doing cold calls as a strategy. Social media's replaced a lot of that functionality and requirement to have that many conversations. It can be done now on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and online. So social media, much easier, in my opinion, and of many other real estate pros. Here's the problem though. Cold calling worked at a pretty good level before because it's a volume game, and especially when it was legal to make lots of calls from a dialer, for example. You could make lots and lots of calls, and every now and again somebody would say, it's kind of weird you called today, we are looking to sell our home. That's gotten much harder to do and much riskier to do. So we don't do it. However, you've got to replace that ability to have that number of contacts per day, and we call that SMC, right? Start more conversations. You've got to have the conversations that you had before, the sheer number and then quality of contacts. We're just not doing them through cold calling as much anymore. So what to do? Mickey says make a bunch of contacts, right? Yet he's also telling me you can't make a bunch of contacts with a phone because it doesn't work much as well anymore. What do I do? Well, replace the contact number, right, per day. We tend to focus on 20 contacts per day. Replace that with 20 comments on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and your favorites, right? Replace that with 20 comments. Now, in the beginning, will that be the same as making 20 direct calls to consumers? Probably not. Over time, and not that much time, you'll build better relationships with the people you comment on, be back and forth about adding value and actually being friendly about March Madness and gardening and everything else you like to talk about. And you'll have relationships that are stronger, better, longer lasting, and then start by unfortunately sometimes bothering a stranger, right? So again, cold calls, not as good anymore. Contacts, still gonna make them. How do we make them instead? 20 conversations per day started with commenting on social media. Hope that helps.